cold this morning. 2 degrees in the tent when I woke up. A little bit of frost on some of the bags. And clouding over. Got a forecast. Apparently supposed to be expecting showers by this evening, and conflicting reports for tomorrow. Either periods of rain or scattered showers. So, we'll see what that brings. Barometer is still on the rise, so I'm not thinking periods of rain, but we'll see. So, nice little camp here on the river. You can see my little, oh, water's boiling, gotta go. Yeah. I'm recording the whole trip on the GPS track. So, I'm gonna get this rolling. Okay, I'm 30.9. Okay, now we go. Witchety witch. Oh, what is that one? Witchety witch. I'm getting rusty on my warblers. Holy, it's hot in here. It's really high. Everything is flooded way back. Things are not going quite according to plan today. Spent most of the morning, it's going to be noon by the time I get this last load completed across that first portage. The flags that we put up many years ago were really faded. A lot of them are missing, so I had a hell of a time finding the trail. So my canoe is about halfway across the trail. I got my food pack here. I'm going to take it up to the canoe and then hump that whole load the rest of the way. Pack load is at the other side, and I spent considerable time reflagging the trail. So at least now the going will be better. Now hopefully when I get across and onto the second portage, those flags are only 2 years old, so they should be in better shape than these ones. Let's hope. There's not a lot of camping possibilities between here and my destination for the night, so it's either going to be a really long day late in camp or a very sketchy camp. So, part of my fresh flag line. Don't know if you can see those other flags in the background. So, I'm only about 100 meters, 120 meters into a 700 meter portage, my second of the day. I'm headed into lake number 3. My destination is lake number 5. So after I get in there, I've got a 880 meter portage and then a 750 meter portage. The 880 is a steady incline all the way. And the second one's a little bit up and down and then steep down. This one is extremely steep at the beginning here. This first 120 meters climbs about 100-150 feet. There were a bunch of blowdowns on there. Had to work around them. Now I'm on the ridge top, so I kind of come along the ridge and then drop down into lake number 3. I'm moving very slow today. It's took me till 1:30 to get up here. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it to my camp on lake number 5. If I do, it's going to be very, very late. So, having a bit of lunch now, and hoping that'll give me a little bit more energy. Not sure why it's taking me so long to get through here. Well, that first trail was just a mess. I kept losing the track. So I wasted a lot of time there. Anyway, better eat up, load up, get moving. Made it to lake number 3 with the pack load. And just walking back to get the canoe. Nice forest in here. See, white pines. Big red. More white pines, big white pine, another red pine. Nice trees in here. Huge white red pines, holy smokes, look at that. Nice, but the day is getting on. Bitter batter. Yeah, look at these rocks here. Some of the stuff I had to portage around rather than going over. And there's a couple of blowdowns on this trail that kind of mess things up. I'll have to do a little bit of cutting on the way back. And put up a couple of flags where there's a couple of flags could use a little bit more guidance. So, see you shortly on the other side. I'm at the end of the second portage of the day. Holy shit, and it's 3:30. I don't know if I'm going to make it to lake number 5. I'm on lake number 3. 2 more portages. Next one's 880 uphill. Rough day today. Here I am. Lake number 3. Finished that portage. It's after 3:30 now. I'm not sure how much more travel I got. I think I got probably about 4 hours ahead of me. 7:30. It's going to be 8 o'clock. I'll bet you when I'm in camp. I'm seriously considering a bushwhack here. I would definitely bushwhack here if it weren't for the fact that I'm anticipating really crappy weather again tomorrow. So, and I'm not likely to get a really good weatherproof site here. I know on my previous trips through I scoped out a couple of possible places, but they were both fairly exposed, so not so optimistic. But I'm gonna scout around, take a look, and may end up staying on lake number 3 tonight. That last portage was extremely strenuous. A lot of elevation gain. Oh man, lousy footing. Yeah, all in all, rough. But up on the high lakes, well, let's see what the rest of the day brings. It's nice to be in the boat. Much prefer this to walking through the woods with all this stuff on my back. I'll check in with you later. Cascading down into the lake. Oops, I almost think it was still winter up here. So, sometimes things don't go as planned. So, still on that third portage, just at the end of it. As you can see behind me here, most of the lake is dried up. It's had a bog walk along the edge there. Holy smolies. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get out the other end. And it's getting late. It's 6:45. Man, this is a long day. And nasty day. Little light showers here. The last load, I'm coming along, and all of a sudden I gotta. Oh man, it's just bad news. Anyway, I got to finish loading up and see if I can get to camp on Lake 5. Wow, here's what's ahead of me. So there's a bit of water, but then at the end it looks like it peters out again. Eek. Well, it truly doesn't get much uglier than this. You can see behind me what I've had to push through. It's taken me probably 15 minutes just to get from the open water back there to here. There's actually enough water. My canoe is floating along. I think I'm going to make it to that beaver dam. Then I better get myself to the next lake. Whew! What a day. 8:46 in camp. So better than 12 hours on the trail. Brutal day. Half my stuff is still at the top. My canoe, my food pack, camera box, all that's up at the top. I'll get that tomorrow. I've got a pulled pork rehydrating there while I was walking along. I got a rope strung for the tarp. I'm gonna have to boogie now and get camp set up and be eating in the dark, and it'll be a late night to bed. Whew. Taking a day off tomorrow. I gotta go get the rest of my shit and rest up. This was one brutal day. What the f***? Is that out in the lake? Oh, ducks. It's just after 10 now. I think this is day 5. I am like totally exhausted. Got to camp here just before 9, about 10 to 9, quarter to 9, something like that. Set up the tarp, set up the tent. Oh God, that's a lot of work. Everything's in there, sleeping bag's ready to go. Haven't even changed my shoes. My feet ache. Oh man, what a day. So that lake up there, number 4, what a mess. There's no water there. That whole route is really not viable anymore. Trashed around. I lost my flag line coming in. Completely lost the flag line. And there must be a couple of flags down, and I couldn't figure out where the hell to go. So I started bushwhacking. And I was, eventually I got a glimpse of the North Mountain there. And I was able to sort of get my bearings there and heading in the right direction. And totally exhausted, found a log and rested the pack on the log. Sat there for a couple of minutes, and lo and behold, there's a goddamn flag right in front of me. And another. I'm back on the flag line. Oh. So I followed that down to camp here. And, oh, so nice to get here. So I'm just warming up supper now. I'm going to have a pulled pork sandwich. And that's the end of the day. So here's my camp, made in the dark last night. Got the tarp up. It was dark by the time I got the tent and everything in. I'll just show you around camp here. So that's my little tent set up. And the view is quite spectacular. And a couple of loons out on the lake there. So I'm back up at the top. I worked my way back here. I was able to relocate the trail that I marked out 2 years ago. And so I put up some flags, moved some blowdowns, and should be a pretty straightforward run to camp. So I've got food pack and a bunch of leftovers that I left to lighten my load last night. I'll take them down, then I'm going to take the canoe through on its own, because with this extra weight in the food pack, it'd be too hard with the canoe in addition going through this, and some of the terrain, there's some steepness involved. So 2 loads here, and then everything will be tucked away in camp. Rained overnight. Holding off for now. Forecast is for showers. Barometer indicates that showers are coming. So we'll try to get all this back to camp before it gets too wet. Before I go, I wanted to just get one last picture of what I'm now calling, politely, Feces Lake. Has another name, you can imagine. This one is a piece of work. I would not recommend anybody coming through here anymore. That portage at the end there, well, that's pretty well a portage from lake number 4. to lake number 5, because that little creek section that's in there, little windy creek thing, it took me 15 minutes to get through there, and there's a friggin' log across it, and you cannot step out of the boat without going waist deep in feces. Pushing through there, of course, you paddling from side to side, and everything in the bow of the boat is covered with feces, or looks like feces. Used to be a really pretty little lake. The first time I gazed on it, it was a sheet of water. But the beaver dam at the back end there has let loose. I guess there's no beavers around to maintain it. Death of a lake. Taking a little rest on a log. I'm in a section of forest here that's all hardwoods. Some big yellow birch, white birch, maples. Quite unique for this far north. And just resting on a log here. Nice section of bush compared to the balsam thickets I had to cut through here. So that's an idea of what the trail looks like, and the surrounding terrain that I cut through to make this. This one here, it's a matter of just sort of flagging the route through, and away we go. And but unfortunately it's uphill, so that's not so great. And pretty soon I'll be crossing the top of the ridge and then steep down into camp. This is a very, very, very steep descent. So hope I can get down there without slipping and falling. I lost the trail again back there, so there's one point I'm going to have to put another flag. It's I'm missing one flag and it just messes me up. So here, I got a flag beside me. Where's the next one? Where is the next one? Interesting. Another flag missing. Shit snakes. This was pretty straightforward when I came up here this morning. Huh. Back close to the flag line. Hard to see just how steep that is on camera. And it's serious slope. And there's one of my little faded flags. Not much to go by. And this is actually one of the more gentle parts of this ridge. Just over there, it's like 2 degrees off vertical. Some nice big boulders. Whoa, hard to keep your balance on this. We're going sort of side hill. There's a tendency to want to fall downhill, which would not be a good thing. With all this weight on my back, it wouldn't be a good thing anyway, especially with all the weight on my back. And it hurts. Here we go. Final descent. Anytime now I should be able to pick up these old wrecked canoes left by a fly-in outfitter. There's 2 canoes and an old wooden cedar canvas or cedar fishing boat, which was all smashed in when the first time I got to this site, and I ended up using it to shelter from a thunderstorm. Crawled underneath it, That served me well. That was many, many years ago. I'm trying to think what year that would have been. I think I'll have myself something to eat, something to drink. Gotta go back for the canoe. Get this all over one more time. Boy, oh boy. And there we are. Back to camp. Oh. Billy ate it. Pissed off, Billy ate it. I don't think he likes me being here. Yeah, he really is a pissed off Billy-head. Something's irritating him. Wonder if it's me. Pesky canoeists. Maybe I'm getting too old for this heavy bushwhacking. I gotta figure a way to either lighten everything up or quit. Just start doing easier routes. This off-trail stuff is rough on a 60-something. Different when I was back in my 30s and 40s, but now I'm in my 60s. Hauling all this shit around, and actually I'm hauling way too much shit. This trip I'm taking real stock on what I use and what I don't use, and a lot of stuff that I've got here is never coming with me again. Got some aches. My leg, left leg. Hey, in my thigh here, this muscle. Well, I Charlie horsed myself coming down the river a couple of days ago, and that muscle is still really tender. My left elbow is kind of on the edge of blowing out. The whole left side of my body is breaking down. Something not right about that. So I'm going to pump some water and then back up to the top again and drag that canoe back. And I've got everything here. We'll look at getting out of here tomorrow. Visibility is deteriorating. The hill in the far distance has become misty. And look, you and behold, the top of the mountain is disappearing. Clouds getting low. Probably some more rain. So before the rain, I want to show you some of the secrets that abound in the Temagami woods. So the woods provides all kinds of things. There's an abundance of spruce here. There's a few little dead ones there. Excellent firewood. Back in the woods there, there's some birch. The bark from the birch provides excellent fire starter. But one of the things I wanted to show you, and not many people are aware of this kind of stuff, is the magic stumps. So there's this stump. What I wanted to show you about this stump is one of Temagami's best guarded secrets. This is the gin tree. So if we dig down in here, lo and behold, what do we got? A bottle of gin. Now this gin has been here for many, many years. And the reason why is because, frankly, I can't stand gin. Okay, Scotch is my thing. And so, when I come here, I force myself to partake of the beefeater. So, we're going to take... Oops, the camera's a little wobbly today. And probably about to get a little wobblier. There's the... God, that friggin' juniper, eek. And that's enough for this year. So back in the stump it goes. So if you're ever in Temagami canoeing and you see a stump such as this, poke around inside it. You never know what you're going to find. Just back behind my camp is, I think I mentioned this the other day, the canoe graveyard, boat graveyard. So there's several carcasses of canoes here. And you can see this one at one time was a fine specimen of aluminum canoe. It's no longer so. If you look close, you can see that it has been the recipient of many crude batches, but a fallen tree over there was the ultimate demise. Oh my God, this one looks like actually looks like bullet holes. Look at that, looks like there are bullet holes in there. Oh no, look at this. Is that teeth? You think that's teeth? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ugh. What the hell would bite that? I do hope he doesn't show up tonight. Yikes. More recent vintage. One of the, this one's a Scott canoe. Made in New Liskeard, out of business now. But there were hundreds of these things plied the Temagami waters for many years. And you can actually see here the origin of how this one got here. But it's truly finished. You can see it's got the open sides. This is a new feature for canoes. It also has instead of float tanks, it has sink tanks. So these ones, instead of providing buoyancy, they keep you stable in the water. Ballast, yeah, I could call that. So that one also met the demise of the of fallen trees. And the third one we got here is actually a cedar, it looks like a cedar canvas fiberglass kind of contraption. And of course it has seen much better days. That's the one that I sheltered underneath the very first time I arrived in this lake. So these things were all cluttering up the campsite over there, and I dragged them off to the side here where they've lain for many, many, many years. Well, now this is kind of cool. It's raining. So light, I can't even hear it on the tarp. Doesn't show on the water, but you can hear it in the needles. I'm gonna go out under the tarp, see if you can hear this. No, I was wrong, actually. It's the tarp that I'm hearing. Can you hear that? And the curious thing is that it doesn't even feel like it's raining out here. And if you look at the lake, there are no water drops on the surface. This is what I call tarp rain. It's the kind of rain that is so light, you're not even aware that it's raining. But yet, under the tarp, the little pitter-patter on the roof, I'm not sure if the mic picks that up. Tarp rain.
So there you have it. The mountain across the lake disappeared. Call that one Vanishing Mountain. Hope it comes back.
Here's what we got for supper tonight. This is a chickpea masala, homemade. Put that in the pot to heat up. And this is some roasted lamb slow roasted lamb shoulder I did up during the winter. And we're going to mix that in with everything. And we'll spread that out and put that in the pot too to heat up. Cover it up, and in about 10 minutes we're going to have some good eats. Oh, for dessert, fruit cocktail. A mixture of apples, mango, pineapple, and strawberry. And yeah, I overwatered it a little bit, but that's fine because the juice is great to drink when you're all done. There, we got a little spruce fire going. It's time to check out supper. So, got the lamb shoulder, chickpea curry, preparation on this one's pretty simple. You take the lamb shoulder, pour it in, mix it up, and here we go. First time for this one. Not bad. Chickpeas are maybe not, they're tricky to rehydrate, but they're still not bad. That's got some zing to it too. Lamb and chickpea curry.